Hello children, I am your English teacher Ghazala Kamran. I hope you are well and you have submitted your homework of the lesson about types of sentences by now. This lesson is comprised of two topics, possessive noun and countable and uncountable nouns. Before starting our topic, let's quickly revise the parts of speech, noun and its kinds. Here is a table showing parts of speech and their classification on the basis of information given by them. You already know about parts of speech. Nouns tell names. Verbs are words which tell action or state. Adverbs tell about action. Adjective tell about noun or pronoun. Pronoun are words which replace noun. Preposition link noun to other words. Conjunction can join two parts of sentences, and interjection shows sudden emotion. Now let's revise noun. You already know that noun is a word which tells the name of a person, place, thing, idea, condition, event, process, and emotion. In short, we can say that all names are nouns. For example, Christina, spoon, furniture, boy, honesty. Now coming to the types of noun. Common nouns are nouns which are names for things and people in general. For example, jug, map. And proper noun are names for people or thing or places specifically. For example, Murray, Tina. Collective noun are names of group of items or group of persons, like here platoon, luggage. Concrete noun are names of things which you can touch, which have a physical existence. On the other hand, abstract nouns are things or emotions or any name which you cannot touch, which you cannot sense with the common five senses. Now, compound noun are names which are formed by joining two or more words, like here sunflower, bookworm. Now we come to our topic, which is possessive noun. First, let's look at the definition. Possessive noun are nouns that show ownership or possession. Normally, these words would be a singular or plural noun, but in possessive form, they are used as adjectives to modify another noun or pronoun. What this definition means? That possessive nouns tell what things belong to whom, or if something belongs to a person, it gives that information. And because it is giving an information about a noun, so it works as an adjective also. Here is an example. This is Andrew's car. Here, the name Andrews is a possessive noun, and car is the noun that we are getting information about. So, Andrews, the possessive noun, is modifying car. Here are some more examples. These will clear up the use of possessive noun more to you. Cat's toy, children's clothes, men's shoes, baby's cots, lemon's acidity, owl's eyes, sister's room, Jim's pen. Now look at some more examples of possessive noun in sentences. Number 1. Jennifer's imagination ran wild as she pictured the accident. Here we are told whose imagination is running wild. The kids' toys are in the basket. The puppy's collar is red. James' book will be published next month. The company's workers went on strike together. The two countries' armies amassed on the border. My mother-in-law's recipe for minced meat is my husband's favorite. Jack and Jill's pail of water is prominently featured in the nursery rhyme. Abbott and Costello's comedy skit, Who's on First, is a classic. Ross, Joey and Chandler's adventures are hilarious. Lucy and Ricky's dressing rooms were painted pink and blue. Each person had his or her own dressing room and they are different rooms. So here we have two possessive nouns, Lucy's and Ricky's. Next example is, you will find beautiful artwork in David's and Jeffrey's houses. Here also we have two separate possessive nouns. Each artist has a separate house. I hope by studying the above examples you have understood the use of possessive noun. Now let's learn how to form possessive nouns. To form possessive noun, we add apostrophe and s with a noun. Now for a singular noun, we add s after it. For example, dog becomes dog apostrophe s, dogs. Cat becomes cats. For plural nouns, if it ends in s, we add apostrophe only after it. For example, mother's meeting becomes mother's apostrophe meeting. Now the second point is, if the plural noun doesn't end in s, then we add both apostrophe and s. For example, children doll will become children's doll. Children with apostrophe and s and then doll. Let's look at some more examples. How to form possessive nouns. And let's see what we have to remember when we are forming a possessive noun, what to do when the noun is singular and what to do when the noun is plural. First, let's start with the singular noun. With common noun, we add apostrophe with s when the noun is singular. Like here in this example, in the first column you can see the nouns are dog, book, girl, bad. All are singular nouns, dog, book, girl, bad. To make possessive, we have added apostrophe and s after each noun, making them dogs, house, books, words, girls, dolls, birds, chicks. Now we come to the plural nouns. Again, when we have plural noun, we have to remember two things. What to do if the plural noun ends with an s, and what to do when the plural noun doesn't end with s. First, let's see if the plural noun is ending with an s. In the central column, if the noun ends in s, we only add apostrophe after it. Like in the middle column, the examples are boys, tables, girls, cats. All of these nouns are plural, and to make possessive, only apostrophe is put after it. There is already an s in the end, so we only put one apostrophe after it and another s is omitted. So this makes it boys ball, tables legs, girls bags, cats tails. Now if the noun doesn't end in S, then what do we do? Look at the third and the last column. If the noun doesn't end in S, we add apostrophe with S, just like we do when the noun is singular. Here the examples are women, children, men. All three of these nouns are plural, but they do not have an S in the end. So we have added apostrophe and S to them, making them possessive nouns like women's dresses, children's books, men's shoes. I hope after these examples you will find forming possessive nouns not very difficult, and we just need to do a little practice and it will become very easy to you. So here is a little practice exercise. You have to rewrite the following phrases using the apostrophe in the correct place. The phrases are: number 1, the poems of Shakespeare; number 2, the houses of my neighbors; number 3, the ticket of my mother; number 4, the prayer of the traveler; number 5, the luggage of the lady. The first one will be done like the poems of the Shakespeare will become Shakespeare's poems. We will add an apostrophe and S after Shakespeare. Think of the answers and then we will check them and see how you have done. Okay, let's see. The answer to number 1, I've already told you, the poems of Shakespeare will become Shakespeare's poems. Number 2, the houses of my neighbors becomes my neighbors' houses. Here you see neighbors is already plural, so we have put only an apostrophe at the end of the noun neighbors. Number 3, the ticket of my mother, my mother's ticket. Number 4, the prayer of the traveler becomes the traveler's prayer. And last, the luggage of the lady, the lady's luggage. I hope now you understand the use and formation of possessive noun. And now we can start the second topic of this video lesson, which is countable and uncountable noun. Children, you have already studied countable and uncountable noun in previous classes. As you can tell from the name, countable nouns are those nouns which can be counted with numbers, and uncountable nouns are those which cannot be counted. Let's look at the examples in the table. The first row gives the examples. Countable nouns, column 1 can be counted, for example, an apple, a school, one picture, two pictures, etc. Uncountable nouns cannot be counted, for example, sugar, information, water, understanding, etc. Here you can see in the examples, all the examples of the countable nouns can be counted, but the uncountable nouns cannot be counted. We cannot say 1 sugar, 2 sugar, or I have 3 information, or I want 4 water. So therefore these are still names which we cannot count, so they are uncountable nouns. Now the second thing to remember about countable and uncountable nouns is, look at your table. The second row, the countable nouns have plural form. For example, there is a book on the table. The houses are very big. Those houses are very big, aren't they? So in both of these examples, in the first example we have a book. The noun can be counted. It is one book. And in the second example, the noun has a plural form, houses. Let's look at the uncountable noun. They do not have a plural form. For example, there is some water in that pitcher. Here we cannot count the noun water. We cannot say 2 water, 3 water. We have to say some water. Next point is that countable nouns can use a or an before them in the singular. For example, she bought an umbrella. Give me a marker. And in the uncountable noun, we cannot use a or an before them. For example, can you hear music? They gave me water to drink. So here we could not say, can you hear a music? Or they gave me a water to drink. So before an uncountable noun, we cannot use a or an. The last point to remember about countable and uncountable nouns is that countable nouns can be used alone, with, some, any, many, few in the plural. For example, I love some carrots. He has borrowed a few books. And uncountable nouns, they can be used alone or with some, any, much, little, etc. For example, there is little information about the weather. Is there any flour in the jar? So as we had seen in the above examples of uncountable nouns, there we had used in the sentence, can you hear music? Before music we had used no words like some, little, much. Here we had used music alone. But we can use words like some, any, much also with an uncountable noun. Now that these points you understand them, if we do a little exercise, this will become more clear to you. So let's start the exercise. Okay, here are some more examples and then we will do the exercise. The examples of countable nouns are cup, bag, shoe, pot, student. Examples of uncountable nouns are water, fuel, money, speed, flour. Okay, a few more examples in the sentences. Examples of countable nouns. Sarah lost 3 teaspoons. The 4 broken discs were thrown out. I love the 2 new dresses you gave me. I have only 1 ice cream bar. Here in all of these sentences we have used a number before the noun, making them countable. We have counted the nouns: 3 teaspoons, 4 broken desks, 2 new dresses, 1 ice cream bar. Now some examples of uncountable nouns are also here. First, Sarah bought a packet of sugar. The broken furniture was thrown out. She gave a lot of rice to her maid. He ate a liter of ice cream. Here in these examples, in the first example, Sarah bought a packet of sugar. We have used the article a, but we have also used a unit to show the amount of the uncountable noun. Here we are using packet. We have counted the packet of sugar, not the sugar itself. And in the last example, he ate a liter of ice cream. Here also, to show the amount of the uncountable noun, we are using the unit of a liter. So because the liter is there, we can count liters. We cannot count ice cream, but we can count liters. So he ate a liter of ice cream. Okay, now we can do a little more practice. We have to use the words in the box below to complete the sentences. The words in the box are 50, some, 30, little, much, a lot of, a, no, all, any. And the sentences are: number 1, pass me dash some butter please. Number 2, there are dash boys in my class. Number 3, kindly send me dash shirt with Anna. Number 4, there is dash flour in the bin. Number 5, how dash milk is there in the jug. Number 6, where have dash the chocolate gone if you didn't eat them. Number 7, can you buy me dash packet of biscuits. Number 8, I have to pay dash rupee more to the tailor. Number 9, does he still have dash work left. Number 10, he has done dash work since he has come. Now take a minute, think of the answers, and then we will check. Here are 10 blanks. Let's see how much score you can get out of 10. If you get 10 out of 10, that would be very good. But if you get 6, that means you need to do a little more practice. Okay, shall we see the answers now? Okay, number 1, pass me some butter please. Number 2, there are 30 boys in my class. Number 3, kindly send me a shirt with Anna. Number 4, there is little flour in the bin. Number 5, how much milk is there in the jug. Number 6, where have all the chocolate gone if you didn't eat them. Number 7, could you buy me any packet of biscuits. Number 8, I have to pay 50 rupee more to the tailor. Number 9, does he still have a lot of work left. Number 10, he has done no work since he has come. In this lesson, you have learned about the use and formation of possessive noun, and you learned about countable and uncountable nouns and their use. So, how about we quickly revise both of these topics? First, the possessive noun. A possessive noun is used to show ownership of something. This is done by adding an apostrophe and an s, like in the following examples. This is my dog's ball. That is Sarah's friend. And now the countable and uncountable nouns. The points we learned about both of these kind of nouns were: first, we can count countable nouns like cat, woman, pencil, children. And we cannot count uncountable nouns like milk, safety, rice, and happiness. The second point was that all countable nouns have a plural form like cat and cats, woman and women, pencil, pencils, child, children. The uncountable nouns, they have no plural form. The last point was countable nouns can have a or an or a number before them, like I have a cat, my cousin has 3 children. And about the uncountable nouns, they usually cannot have a or an or a number before them, like they like rice, I wish you much happiness. So after revising both of these topics, I think now you can do these 2 exercises on your own, now that you fully understand what the topics are. Here is exercise 1. You have to use apostrophe to change the following to possessive form. You have done one exercise like this before, a few minutes ago, so it should not be difficult for you. The first sentence is, Iqbal hurled the book belonging to Sam across the room. Number 2. The dog belonging to Peter wagged its tail, welcoming its master home. Number 3. The suitcase of my mother-in-law was lost. Number 4. The house of Amjad bears a festive look today. Number 5. The palace of the king is so beautiful that one is awestruck. Number 6. The room of the Duchess overlooked the huge courtyard. Now I'm sure as I was reading you could have come up with the answers, and you don't need much time to do this exercise, it's very easy. Still take a little time, think of the answers, and then we'll quickly see the answers, what they are. Remember, when you have to put apostrophe s and when you don't have to put both apostrophe and s. Yes, when the noun is plural and ending with an s, then you only put an apostrophe in the end. Okay, have you come up with the answers? Let's see them. Number 1. Iqbal hurled Sam's book across the room. Number 2. Peter's dog wagged its tail, welcoming its master home. Number 3. My mother-in-law's suitcase was lost. Number 4. Amjad's house bears a festive look today. Number 5. The king's palace is so beautiful that one is awestruck. Number 6. The Duchess' room overlooked the huge courtyard. Here is another exercise to quickly revise what we have learned about countable and uncountable nouns. You have to use many, much, a few, and a little appropriately in the sentences below. The sentences are: number 1, dash people came to see the exhibition. Number 2, how dash milk should I buy at the market. Number 3, dash time has passed since Qaida Millat passed away. Number 4, does she have dash brothers and sisters? Number 5, only dash people were there on the opening night of his play. Number 6, dash more weight would make her look more attractive. The exercise is very easy. Okay, let's see the answers. The answers are: number 1, many people came to see the exhibition. Number 2, how much milk should I buy at the market. Number 3, much time has passed since Qaida Millat passed away. Number 4, does she have many brothers and sisters. Number 5, only a few people were there on the opening night of his play. And number 6, a little more weight would make her look more attractive. Now we have done a lot of practice, and I'm sure by now you understand possessive and countable and uncountable nouns very well, and now I think you are ready for your homework. Here is your homework. You have to do this exercise. Exercise 1. Here you have to rewrite the phrases using the apostrophe in the correct place. We have done one exercise like this in the lesson also. The phrases are: number 1, the book belongs to Mr. Aslam. Number 2, the church named after St. Paul. Number 3, the scientists of Pakistan. Number 4, the patients of Dr. Richards. And number 5, the purse of my sister-in-law. Here is exercise 2. You have to use the words in the box appropriately to fill the blanks in the sentences. The words are the few, a little, much, no, little, some, all, many, any, two, any, 5 kilo, few, a few, and 3. Here are 15 sentences. I'm sure you will find this exercise very easy. It's just like the one we had done a few minutes ago in the practice. So don't forget to do your homework. Do it on a Fullscape sheet and submit on Saturday between 9 and 11 a.m. in the school office. Thank you for your attention. Stay indoors, wash your hands frequently, and until your next lesson, goodbye.